Man, listen, you guys, I have a very, very, very interesting story for you today. And this is coming out of course, the good old South. Good old Georgia, Henry County, Georgia, you guys. It's not that far from me, but it's far. It's far enough. But this speaks to a lot of things that we talk about on this channel. And it speaks to a lot of things that I've been telling you. You guys, there's a problem in law enforcement. We all know that, you guys. But here in the South, unfortunately, you still have some people who were stuck in the 1860s. Listen, how do you get rid of these people? They're still stuck in the 1860s. What do I mean by that? Racism. They don't like black people. They don't think black people are qualified to do certain jobs. They don't want to be led by a black person. They don't want to see black people in charge. You guys, listen. Bless their heart. Because guess what? The only way to fix the problem, you guys, is to get into the problem yourself. The only way to fix the problem is to get in the problem itself and fix it on the inside. I keep telling you that. This is how it works. It's a shame, though, we have to do this, you guys. Listen, this is an interesting story out of Henry County. Sheriff Scandrett. You guys, he sounds like he is getting ready to turn the sheriff's department upside down. We're going to play this clip, this news clip. We're going to get into it. What happened? A mass exodus, they said. White sheriff deputies are leaving the department in a mass exodus. They're claiming that he's corrupt. They're claiming that he's mishandling and misappropriating the funds. Very interesting story. And I want you to hear it from him. This is going to be very interesting. So he reaches out to the news and he's like, listen, let me say my piece. Let me bring the receipts. I have the evidence. What they're saying is lies. He comes with his receipts, you guys, and it doesn't look pretty. We absolutely have to dive into this subject matter. This is very relevant, you guys. It's very crazy. And when we think about it, what has happened to Sheriff Scandrett? They said, listen, he's received death threats. People are leaving the department. Mass exodus. They're accusing him of misappropriating funds. They're accusing him of abusing the funds in the department to buy things that he should not buy. Now, listen, I don't know whether or not it's true or not, but he's coming with evidence. He has a counter argument and he's pushing back. He got a hold of the news and sat down with them and said, hey, listen, this is what it is. And he brought the evidence to the table, you guys. This is what transparency looks like. If you can't be transparent in this line of work, you're a problem. You're part of the problem. You're absolutely a part of the problem. You guys, he's the sheriff. He's the top dog. He's all the way at the top. He is the head honcho of this department. He said he's cleaning it up. He said he's raising the standards. Again, raising the standards. And he said that he's saying the deputies are struggling to maintain those set standards. So guess what? They're leaving. They're leaving, you guys. This is how you bring about change. Let's dive into this.
African-American sheriff in a local county says he's had some employees quit because of his race and even had his life threatened since he took office. Now he's defending himself against accusations of mismanagement and more. And he believes race is part of the reason for the criticism. Channel 2's Tom Jones is live in Henry County, where he spoke exclusively about this issue. Tom.
Yeah, Wendy, I reached out to Sheriff Reginald Scandrett after someone asked me to look into allegations on a social media post made by a former candidate for sheriff here in the county. Jim Cox questioned the sheriff's handling of his budget. He talked about a $25,000 shower installed here and a $97,000 truck the sheriff was riding in with a driver. The sheriff told me this stems in part because some people don't like the fact that he's an African-American sheriff here.
I received threats. Yeah. I received death threats.
Henry County Sheriff Reginald Scandrett says that's why he has a driver. The first African-American sheriff here spoke to me after I asked him to address a number of concerns.
First of all, the brother looked like and sounded like Wesley Snipes. Man, the voice, everything. He give me Blade vibes, right? You guys remember Blade, the movie? What is he saying? He's saying, listen, they threatened me. I've received threats. They're accusing him of building a shower, expensive shower, and buying a vehicle that's $97,000. Jesus Christ. Now listen, this wouldn't be the first time, a chief or a sheriff was misappropriating the funds, spending it in ways they weren't supposed to spend it in. Absolutely, this is not unheard of. I've seen it happen. I've absolutely seen it happen. This is also not the first time a sheriff or a chief or someone high up has been threatened because they are willing to expose a lot of corruption, or because of their race, or because of their gender. You guys, this is true. Discrimination does happen inside of police departments, inside sheriff's departments. This is true. This is a fact. This is a fact. I've seen it in real time. I've seen it play out. I have seen it happen on both sides. I've seen a sheriff who was black working in a predominantly black sheriff's department, and they threatened to kill him, you guys. And then they did kill him. They assassinated him in his own driveway. You guys, this is real. Corruption is real. We all know that. People don't want to be exposed. Why? Because when money is involved and corruption is involved, and power and corruption and greed, listen, ego is a dangerous drug, especially in this profession. And when you are someone who is planning to clean it up, when you are someone who has integrity, when you are someone who takes your oath seriously, listen, the cowards are afraid of that. And then you find out there's more cowards than you think they are, and you got to get rid of them. So shout out to Sheriff Scandrett. Let's find out what happened. Let's find out what transpired. But you guys, this is interesting. This is absolutely interesting.
Made by a former sheriff's candidate on social media, including he has someone to drive him around. Jim Cox wrote there is a mass exodus from the sheriff's office.
So apparently Jim Cox, I guess he was a sheriff candidate, but he didn't win. And so he goes on Facebook and makes a post about the other sheriff. I mean, that's immature, right? That's unprofessional. What'd he say? He said, okay, Facebook friends, and especially Henry County citizens, let's talk about Henry County Sheriff's Department. I have been a post-certified law enforcement officer since 1994. I count 28 years. I ran for sheriff 3 times, the years 2000, 2004, and 2008. In those years, Henry County had a sheriff department and leaders to be proud of. And then I can't see the rest of it because it's not extended. But, what all did he say in that? I don't know what else he said. They're saying he allegedly accused this particular sheriff who won of, I guess you could say, being corrupt. So let's see.
Office. The sheriff says people have left because they didn't agree with his vision and increased standards.
And we had some people that say, quite frankly, we will never work for an African-American sheriff.
Scandrett says they've been replaced. Cox wrote the jail was understaffed. Scandrett says it takes around 30 people per shift to run the jail.
Wow. Replaced. Exactly. You guys, that's the name of the game. The sad thing is, though, they're replaced, and then where they're going? Somewhere else, right? With that mentality. Did they truly leave because he's black, or did they leave because they didn't like his leadership? We don't know. One could argue a mixture of both. You don't know. We don't know. He said he's raising the standards, you guys. This is not uncommon. The department that I retired at, you guys, they had high standards. Extremely high standards. People would come from other agencies, get the job there. Look, they paid good money. They would work there for a month and then quit, you guys. That's how high the standards were. And the standards weren't even so high that they were bad, but when you're used to doing whatever you want, when you're used to below or substandards, when you're used to not having to be held accountable, when you're not used to rules and regulations, strict ones, you guys, a lot of officers can't handle it. They end up quitting and going somewhere else, right? My department paid really well. And so it attracted a lot of people. But man, let me tell you, the standards at my department were high. You could not even curse. If they caught you cursing, if you were cursing and it was caught on your body camera or reported by a citizen, you were written up and again suspended without pay. You guys, it was not a game. They took it very seriously. Professional standards and professionalism was a priority at my department. Not so much at my first department, though. We could curse and yell and kick and scream at citizens, and it wasn't a big deal. What are the citizens asking, you guys? They're asking us to raise our standards. That's exactly what they're asking. They are saying that policing standards are here, but society's expectations are here, and a lot of departments are not rising to the occasion, you guys. That's the issue. That's what this thing is all about. You have an entity that's refusing to listen to what the people are asking of them to do. It's that simple. It's not rocket science. What's getting in the way? Ego. Absolute ego, you guys. That's the problem. That's the problem. A lot of these police departments have turned into little militias where they believe that they're dictators. It's true, you guys. It's absolutely true. You know? And then that trickle-down effect falls on the officers or the ones who are actually doing the job. Bad practices. Things need to change. Here you have a man saying, listen, I'm going to change this. I am changing it. Here are the standards. If you can't uphold these standards, then you need to leave. Mass exodus is what he said. Mass exodus. And then he's also saying that they're doing it because they don't want to take orders from a black supervisor, a black leader. Whew. This is why I tell you guys, if you want to make change, you got to get in the mess to clean it up. If not, you're just a spectator complaining. What are you willing to do? Vote properly and get in and do some work.
We have about 25 and some change now.
Cox complained the sheriff installed a $25,000 shower with a Bluetooth speaker.
We did add a shower.
Scandrett says it was $7,800. Cox also said the sheriff has a tricked out $97,000 truck. Scandrett gave me documents that showed it cost $56,000, and that's not all.
The truck was purchased by the prior sheriff.
Scandrett says when he arrived, he found the jail.
Listen, you see why we gotta be slow to speak and do research? Someone just put some inaccurate, false information out against him to try to slander him. He brings the receipt. He said, hey, listen, this truck was not $97,000. It was $56,000. And I didn't buy it. The guy before me bought it. Listen, this is what I'm talking about. Man, it's a nasty game, these politics, you guys. It is. Nasty game. Very interesting, though. I like how he came up. Listen, when you have nothing to hide, you guys, when you move with integrity, you move with honor, you don't fear nobody. You come with the paperwork. I have nothing to hide. This is how government is supposed to look like. This is what it's supposed to look like. You couldn't go to some of these sheriff's departments and ask them for a damn thing. Even when they're in the wrong, they're not giving you nothing because you can't touch them, right? They're elected. You can't do nothing to them. Man, it's a nasty game, you guys. Let's go ahead and finish this up.
In horrible condition to where he instituted Operation Facelift. He told me he chooses to focus on bringing the sheriff's office up to standard and not the false narratives people enjoy spreading.
We're not embracing that. We're not going to chase those narratives. We're running toward the levels of excellence.
Scandrett told me on occasion he spends several nights in a row here and he needs that shower. He says his office is clearing warrants and locking people up who need to be locked up. I reached out to Jim Cox. He told me he would check with his boss to see if he could speak with the media and would get back to me next week. We're live in Henry County. Tom Jones, Channel 2 Action News.
So So Jim Cox did all that trash talking online. Now you gotta go follow up with someone above you to see if you can get permission to talk. Should have kept your mouth shut, Jim. Should have kept it shut, brother. Come on now. That was wrong. That was wrong. And very, very unprofessional. Very unprofessional. Listen, they said he bought a shower for $20-something thousand. He said, man, the shower was $7,000. They built it inside the jail so they can use the shower. Man. Then he came with the receipts. Whew. Listen, you guys, there's only one way to fix the problem, man. You got to sign up. Sign up, vote properly, pay attention, know what you're talking about, hire people, consult with people who know what they're talking about, who can give you real insight about this profession and what goes on. Listen, shout out to Sheriff Scandrett. Congratulations to you, brother. Congratulations to you for doing the work in real time. You know, I told you guys about it all the time, Operation Chocolate. What do? You cannot sit on the sidelines and complain. You just can't. You got to do something, you guys. You absolutely have to do. We need more people with integrity. White, black, Asian, Hispanic, it doesn't matter. Do your job properly. Uphold the law like you're supposed to, and make sure you uphold it over yourself. You're not better than the people you're serving. That's a fact. That's a fact. So, man, shout out to him. What do you guys think? I know that was very interesting. And you know, and some people left. They said it's about race. You know, I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised. A lot of departments need an overhaul, really do, and we need to start holding officers accountable. We just do, you guys. I mean, that's the only way you're going to rebuild trust. Transparency, better training, and accountability. It gets no better than that. It gets no better than that. What do you do? What do you do if an officer or sheriff is a racist? Hey, I got some solutions. Listen, I tell people all the time, do you hate the color of my skin more than you enjoy your freedom or your time with your family? You got to pick one. You got to pick one. You guys, I have a solution for everything. Best believe that. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this. Listen, I didn't get a chance to do the admin stuff. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you enjoyed this content, please join the channel. Would love to have you a part of this team, you guys. We got a lot more interesting content, a lot more guest speakers. We have some really cool ones coming up. Really excited, looking forward to it, you guys. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And with that, let these truths find you where these lies have left you. Good night. God bless.